This right here is Namor, the last king of Atlantis. Let's zoom in right there so people can see that. By Jason Aaron, Paul Davison, Alex Lins, and Nira Jamenon. I completely butchered that, and I apologize. But this story right here is amazing. You know, I've always been a fan of characters like Namor because, you know, let's face it, everyone loves characters that are morally gray. You know what I mean? Not too heroic, not too evil, sort of in the middle. Sometimes, depending on the situation of the current landscape of comics, he could be classified as a villain or a hero or anti-hero or, you know, in between. Like I said, don't want to spoil much, you know, in terms of the story, but this comic, and I'm pretty sure this for you being a fan of Namor, this is a must. This is a must. Jason Aaron, I don't know what kind of water he's drinking, but my goodness, his creative juices of comic writing is just amazing. He's one of my favorites. You know, have I read everything of his? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I am new to this. You know, as a kid growing up, I was a huge fan of comics. Would dip in and dip out, dip in and dip out. But over the last few 2-3 years, I've been recommending, hey, check out this person, check out that person. And my goodness, like I am not disappointed when it comes to Jason Aaron so far. His work has been amazing. You know, this comic is an eye opener. You know what I mean? Because you don't normally see Namor weak or being held captive. But my goodness, man, this story's, it gets dark. The story gets dark, and you know, there's some mistreatment of him as a prisoner in here, as you guys know that one of Namor's thing is he needs to be in contact with some type of liquid, and by that color you can tell what these guards filled that with. You know, I'm not gonna go into that, but yeah, man, this is a dark story right here. This is a story where, you know, it's awesomely back and forth, and man, it's done in a way where Namor himself kind of has to like relive his past and come to think of like what kind of person, hero, king he wants to be. And it's one of those stories where it's like a self-reflection thing, and I'm not going to spoil it. Like I said, you know, it's a great artwork, amazingly done, man. Like, I've always been a fan of Atlantis type stories, like under the ocean type stories, because dude, I'll be honest with you, I can't swim. I have a deep fear of the ocean. You know, you ever seen those documentaries where like they'll talk about what's down there and the creatures and how long they've been alive? Like it is humbling when you think about what's down there and like what we have not yet discovered. Like, if you ever want to feel humble in life, look up a documentary about outer space or the ocean, and you realize just how small you are in this world that is ever growing. It's insane. But yeah, man, great action, great story, super dark. If you're into those darker stories, this is right up your alley. You know, if you're a fan of Namor, it's right up your alley. You know, like I said, I don't want to spoil stuff right here, but right here it says Jason Aaron redefines the Submariner. Now, that is basically what this book is for. You know what I mean? Like, it's a nice thick book. It's a paperback. It's a great introduction, reintroduction. If you know, if you read some of it, Namor's older stuff, and you want to read the newer stuff. But man, this was my introduction to Namor. I'm looking forward to collecting more. Guys, seriously, huge fan of Jason Aaron, bigger fan of the character of Namor. Like I said, look at those creatures. Look at it. Look at this artwork. This is amazing. You know what I mean? It's absolutely terrifying when you think about some of the power scaling in Marvel when it comes to a character like this. Same goes for Aquaman, even though, you know, the whole Aquaman being butt of jokes, and I'm pretty sure there's some people that don't like Namor either because of the whole flappy wings on his ankles. But man, this character is awesome. You know, like I said, this is just a bootleg review, real quick short video. You know, a lot of other way better YouTube channels qualified doing way better reviews. This is just a hobby for me, but like I said, this is great. You know what I mean? This is bootleg reviews. Short, simple, sweet, fast. All right. Thanks for watching, guys.